Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
Well, I just finished the final class of instructor training for the kickboxing. Woohoo! All done and completed. And something that I really appreciated is the instructor invited me, or the teacher of the instructors invited me, knowing that I am not. They nominated me, or the seller nominated me, and shared with the instructor that I'm buying the locations, buying the studios. And I haven't been there for a year, but whatever. So they invited me in. So the studio instructor knew, but nobody else knew. Studio instructor is a part owner in another of the locations. So they just like talk one-on-one because there's always a crowd. But tonight at the end of the class, everyone had left and it was just the gal and myself. And it was great just listening to or asking her like, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciated this. I'm so glad to have been here. Here's what I learned. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's the process. It was great to hear her perspective too, because she's a very good instructor. She's very good at leading classes, having like fifth dimensional awareness about all that's going on and the technical operations of a club, managing a studio, keeping the doors moving. It was phenomenal. And so I got to share a little bit of my background with her because she didn't really know too much about it. And so I got to share like my business corporate background, data, analytics, business reporting, dashboard creation, measuring the right KPIs, knowing how to tweak the inputs that everyone is doing but doesn't realize they're doing, and what levers to pull to get the right output. And so I was able to bounce some things off for like, hey, here's what I'm assembling as to how I can make these clubs better, not fixing them, but tweaking them and fine-tuning them, and just hearing her thoughts, her feedback. And it was great. It was really, really appealing. And that was really, really awesome to hear. So definitely wanted to abide very strictly to NDAs and disclosures. So nothing new or proprietary was shared by any means, but part of the adventure is just sharing, like having like that appreciation for someone that's in the trenches and doing that. And part of my health journey is back in 2015. 2015. Just taking a shower, getting ready for the day, and I could not see my toes. Just scrubbing my hair, scrubbing my belly, just getting ready for the day, and I could not see the floor. My belly had gotten so big, and I just wasn't able. I had to like maneuver my figure to be able to like scrub my feet and put my socks and shoes on, and walking up and down the stairs was tough. And I hadn't gained a ton of weight, but enough that it really rattled me. And so that's when I started my daily workout streak. And I've gotten my frame back, the body that I was hoping for, and now have a little bit more muscle mass. And I don't know if that's normal for this brand, but that's kind of where I'm coming in, and I'm wanting that high touch, high person relationship with the other big box franchisors. Those are beats gyms. You put your beats in, you show in, nobody knows, nobody cares that you showed up for the day. There's no sense of loss if you quit the gym, and like that's just it. And so she said, no, like with the stories like yours, we have those every week. This past week, even one person had to move back to Minnesota for some family obligations, and like they joined Farrell's because they wanted that 45 minutes of. They joined the gym because they needed something for themselves and something that was for them. And so that was the big reveal, and realizing they needed something that was relevant for them. And so, and that was someone that I met at class as a member earlier this week. And so just hearing like that's a very real thing. People are no longer on diabetes medications. People are able to stretch and reach their toes. People are able to they're able to like eat healthy without a guilt anymore. They're not having to count carbs the same way because it's now natural to eat like real food, not packaged food. And it's just really, really slick. And so just to see like the stories on the Facebook groups and the different platforms, like, hey, like here's a diet hack that I found. Here's how to get flavor. Something that could be bland. It was just really eye-opening, and to see like that level of feedback. And it's joining just like another Planet Fitness, or I'm just throwing names out, like a Planet Fitness, or like an Anytime or a Snap or a Gold. Depending on the franchisee who's running it, it may be different, but for a lot of them, your members are a number. People can't plan, they clock out, they pay their bi-weekly membership. That's $30, $40, $50 a month, whatever. But like nobody knows. And it's just a churn game of who can bring the most people in and not lose the most. And more of that high engagement style studio, it's very much like you greet every person within 3 seconds of walking through the door. You know each person's name within 3 touches of me having them one-on-one. They bring a card up to the front when they start their 10-week challenge, so the instructor knows the newbies by name. You get fist bumps throughout the workout. You have a post-workout like downtime of stretching, and people know who you are. And like if you don't show up for a week, you get a text, a call, an email, maybe everything, and you're not forgotten, and you're not a number. You may have a number, like a member number, as they cycle through their spreadsheets of who to follow up with, who to re-engage and connect with, but you're not just another person. Like you have a health story, you have life struggles, you have psychological barriers you're breaking through, physical limitations, diet issues. Like you matter. Like you are. Like the atmosphere is a little bit different if you don't come back. Like that's important. That's worth noting. So just having these different conversations over and over. I'm really seeing the real life stories. I have an appreciation for all that's going in, and the high touch gym model. That's our fitness studio, gym, club. Like that's exactly. I looked down on the brand I'm joining with. I knew of it beforehand because my wife's friends have been members there, instructors there. And I've tried out the studio like years ago before I even knew about it, considered buying in. And I'm realizing what a good decision, what a good franchise brand. Still not even phased. I haven't had my grievances that every franchisee I'm sure has with the franchisor over time. But if people can get off the unnecessary meds, if they can start adding years to their life of quality life years, and they're able to do more, and they don't have the mental barriers anymore. Like that is worth it. Like that's something money can't buy. I mean, it is because I'm buying a studio to get those experiences, but like, oh man, so worth it. So there we go. People probably up for the night, kind of late, but here we go.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.